Welcome to Tech Abilities, produced live in the Blind Abilities studio. I want to thank all of you for listening and for sending in your feedback. It's well appreciated. And if you want to send us some feedback, give us a call at 612-367-6093. Leave a message. We'd love to hear from you. So without further ado, let's get this show started. I don't see Seyoon on the call.
You have something with S people or S sounding names.
Well, I was going to say that same thing. I go,
except Jeff. He's the only one.
Jeff. I think Jeff's going to get ruled out today.
It'll be the first time.
He's going to be outvoted by the S's.
You need to change your name to Seth or something.
Seth. Should I say live?
No, you know that's my biggest pet peeve.
Welcome to Tech Abilities. I'm Seth Thompson, and today in the studio, returning to the studio, Serina Gilbert. Serina, how you doing?
I'm doing
Welcome to Tech Abilities. I'm Jeff Thompson, and today in the studio is Serina Gilbert. How are you doing, Serina?
I am super awesome. How are you, Jeff?
I'm doing great, thank you. And returning is Seyoon Choi. How are you doing, Seyoon?
I'm really good. I'm excited to be with you all.
You sound like it, kind of.
Kinda. No, I totally am. I truly am. I'm serious. Dead serious.
And Cheryl McIntosh, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing.
That's great. You guys are all peaking up here and setting the bar real high. I'm feeling okay, you know. And Sree Roy, how are you doing?
Doing really good, Jeff. I can now officially say the circle is complete with me being part of this.
Oh, really? The Tech Ability Show, huh? You've listened before.
Yes.
Well, welcome. Well, the Apple event happened. A lot of things came out. There are basically three major items. Anybody find anything shiny and new on the Apple tree that they got ordered?
I have not ordered anything yet, but I do have my eyes on the AirPod Pro 3s. I said it right. There we go.
Yeah, so does Sree.
I do.
Seyoon, Mr. Apple.
You know, this is the first year that I actually am going to skip the annual upgrade cycle. I think the long-term listeners probably know that I've been working for the fruit company for a few years. So just kind of went all in, you know, I maxed out my benefits. And one of that was just the ability to be able to upgrade my phone for like $200 a year. So I traded my phone, and together with employee pricing, it kind of just ended up working out. But now that I left the company, and since I ended up getting a 16 Pro right before I left it last December, I'm just going to ride this one and then see what happens next year. But if I get anything, I think it'll be AirPods Pro 3.
Oh, we're going all in on that. How about you, Cheryl?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Yeah, you just got a bunch of equipment.
Yeah.
Good timing, right?
Yep.
I keep on thinking I want the AirPod Pro 3s, but mine are sitting in my pocket, my 2s, and they're doing fine. And it's like, do I? I like the health features that is coming in the watch and in the Pros. I don't know. After the event, I've just kind of like let it settle in, and I'm not as eager as I was when I first heard about everything. I thought I was leaning in on it, and I think the big winner is the iPhone 17 because it comes with a lot of the features that the others have. It even has the center stage feature in the camera, taking pictures, selfies, and it'll automatically spread out a little bit for more people on it. Quite impressed with the 17. Usually, if you don't get the Pro or the Pro Max, usually there's lots of things that are different in it. But this year, they got the same chips, the same camera. Not the lens, though. I guess the zoom is only a 2x. It's not as good when you zoom in, but the other ones have good stuff. Any of you take a look at that 17?
The Pro version, because I saw the 17 Air, the 17 and the Pro, and I don't think I'm going to upgrade because I still have a 15 Pro Max. A lot of work. And I do a lot more content creating on my phone. So if I upgraded it, I know it sounds really weird, the blind person saying this, it would be for the camera because it does make a difference. But I don't know. I don't think the form factors change that significantly. You know me, I only change when the form factor changes, and I'm not going down to an Air. I just don't think that would meet my needs. So
So the back bump doesn't meet your form factor?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, it sounds like the bump is actually bigger. So that would actually be a little annoying.
People having their phone, and now you can tell if you have a Pro by the bump, you know, as they're walking around.
And they're calling this like a plateau, right?
Yeah.
They're just embracing it. Like they're just going in.
But I would say I agree. The 17 for someone who doesn't need everything, it meets all the other criteria. It's got the same type of build, and it's at the same price with more memory. So you actually getting a much better deal on that phone.
As opposed to someone buying the 16 last year.
Yeah, you're getting 128 basically for free.
Yeah, I saw that article and I went through it, and the person said that that is the best buy right now for the phones. And I heard that the Air is like dismal on the pre-orders, so not too many people are liking that plateau, that bump. Yeah, it just seems like it's fading fast. This is the first time an event happened that it faded away from me. I am interested in the what was that strap that we talked about?
The crossbody strap.
And the crossbody.
Yeah, I'm surprised that something like that hasn't come out from them before. But people that walk around navigating with it, holding it up in the air like that just, to me, that you're just asking for trouble out in public, walking down the street with your phone out. So having some type of tether, some type of restraint.
That's the other day just to see what other podcasts are saying about this crossbody strap. I think here in the States, I think we use our phones a little differently than some other parts of the world. Like I heard, places like in Japan or South Korea, you have NFC readers everywhere. So you kind of want your phone out all the time. Whereas, I feel like here we just stick it into our pockets or purse or whatever. I mean, I do want to demo it for sure. I'm sure Apple stores are going to have some kind of demos for people to try this.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about how the magnets hook up and how strong it gets to the tug.
Does the stores have them for display?
I was told by my friend that they would, because all the cases, so we used to have like a case wall, which is a little grid of different iPhone cases, and you can feel them and actually try it on your phone. And then if you pull it towards you, if you kind of push it towards you, you have like the cases that are in the box that are brand new. And that supposedly, that idea, the philosophy of the way the cases are merchandised is borrowed from the very same idea that inspired the safe deposit boxes, which I thought was kind of cool. So go to your nearest Apple store and go check out the case wall because it is pretty cool.
I'm going to the mall tomorrow, so I'm going to definitely go to the Apple store.
Do it.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what you find out. Has anybody upgraded to iOS 26?
I did. I actually did the developer beta last week after the announcement, and it's the silliest reason that I decided to update. It was because I wanted to be able to test out the Apple Music Auto Mix feature.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I like
literally
that.
the only thing that I was really excited about. There's other little things I've discovered along the way that I do really like, but I really wanted to try the Auto Mix feature, and I haven't had any major problem. I haven't seen anything major with VoiceOver that's causing any issues on my phone.
Is it a smooth crossover?
It's kind of weird. So sometimes it'll just like crossfade's the wrong word, but it'll auto mix like it really is like a DJ. Like sometimes you know how when you're at a place and they're DJing and they don't start the next song from the very beginning, maybe it starts from like the chorus instead of like the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it does sometimes. So it's really interesting and it kind of keeps you on your toes. It actually isn't bad. And you can tell when it's about to like auto mix because sometimes it'll slow down the tempo of the song that it's on and then bring in the new song. So it's kind of interesting for sure.
Like their finger hit the turntable from spinning a little bit.
It's pretty cool.
Now, does it pick which song that it bleeds into the next song, or is it just from the track 1, track 2, track 3, and it bleeds it all together?
Or your playlist.
So it won't do it on if you're listening to an album. Just like if you're listening to an album in order, it won't crossfade those because they want to preserve how the artist put that album together.
Oh.
If you shuffle the album, it's just going to just shuffle, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if it's intelligently picking the next song or if it's just shuffling and it gets what it gets. I have no clue, but I do it on shuffling like my favorite songs that I've marked that I really like and then just let it do its thing.
I'd love for us to like have a toggle switch where it says like auto select next recommended songs type of thing. So let's say, as in your example with favorites, you could select shuffle or play, and then that auto mix feature can kind of take it a step further and pick the next song that would kind of transition well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's just a hypothetical thought. But yeah, I've been on the stable release for a couple of days on my 16 Pro, and it did eat my battery quite quickly, quite a bit. But I think it's starting to get all situated now. And I did realize that there are a couple buttons when you double tap with VoiceOver, it doesn't do anything. So you have to turn off VoiceOver and tap it and then turn the VoiceOver back on. But other than that, it's been pretty smooth.
I heard that it does slow down or speeds up the battery, I guess. It does bog down the battery after the initial install, but it works its way out of that. Why is that?
It's just processing everything? I guess there's a lot of update that it needs to process, right, for the first couple of days?
So I heard there's a support article this time. When you do the update, it tells you that your phone has to download newer system files and assets and different things, and re-indexing your files and all that. So I heard that it could take a hit to your battery for a little while when you jump to a major release. I guess there have been enough complaints from people like, why is my battery dying faster after the update? So I feel like Apple almost had to, where it was kind of in a place to spell out like what's happening in the background.
It's defragging. That's what it's
Right.
doing.
That's right.
There's also a VoiceOver bug that makes your VoiceOver disappear. And if you can't see your screen and you have to put in PIN numbers and stuff, you won't have any access to your phone. So you need sighted assistance. This isn't happening to everybody, but it's happening to some people, and they said they're going to fix it on the next upgrade. Apple, that is.
Just last week, Mr. Zuckerberg and his team announced the Connect event, and they're talking about the Meta glasses, and there's some more brands coming out, more styles, I should say. And one of them that caught my attention were the Oakley wraparound with the nose bridge camera. And that seems interesting because that seems like the perfect form factor that we would be looking for. More battery life, more pixels in the camera, that type of thing. So really good on that part. One unique thing that I found was that on the Meta Ray-Ban display glasses, that comes with the Neuro Band, works in conjunction with it. So you can do gestures and communicate with the glasses, and there's a touch sensor on the side of the glasses as well. But they made an announcement on their support page that says that you can adjust and enable vision accessibility settings on Meta Ray-Ban display, like color corrections, text size, screen reader, and magnification, all from the Meta AI mobile app. Now, I'm not sure if this app is put into the wristband, if it's put into the phone, if it's put into the glasses, and there's not much more speaking about it, but it does go through some details on how to manipulate or how to use the screen reader as well. So this is something to look forward in the future. Is it going to be on launch? I don't know. Did Meta ever have a screen reader before? How is it going to be? Well, we don't know. So that's interesting. But they came out with the Meta Ray-Ban 2nd Gen, and that's going to have more battery life and better cameras. It just seems like an upgrade to them. But I don't know if it's worth the while to upgrade, but we'll have to see what really comes out. And the Oakleys are going to be $499, and the smart glasses with display are going to be up near $800. That's with the Neuro Band as well. So we'll see.
I don't know if it's enough to make me upgrade from, because I have the Meta, whatever the original ones are, the Wayfinders.
Ray-Ban?
Yeah, Ray-Ban. I'm like, I can't think of it. For what I use them for, like, it meets my need. The biggest thing I use them for is navigating using Ira when I'm out and about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially in like a more urban type of setting. So I don't know. And I'm not a fan of the wraparound because for me, I need more light, not less light with my vision loss. And I know others have the exact opposite. But $800 is pretty steep, but it's not the 2,000 or 2,500 even a year ago that some devices were. So
yeah.
And maybe if look matters, usually the Oakleys always look a little bit more sportier. You know, they hit more of the younger crowd than the Ray-Bans did.
Yeah.
At least when I see people wearing Ray-Bans or Oakleys.
You yell, slow down to them.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have a hard time justifying because, I've already put the order for a Gia and I put an order in for the Solo and I have the Ray-Ban. I don't know if maybe I'd rather spend my additional funds to get the AirPods Pro 3.
Yeah. I mean, you can only have, 4 pre-orders going at once, right?
No, that's true. For me, also, these glasses, I thought I would use it more, but I really am not using it that as frequently as I would be using it. I think kind of like what Serena said, I thought I'd have it on all the time, and I don't.
That's part of the reason why I'm not so convinced. I'm still kind of an outlier here. I have not invested in any Meta glasses for a couple of reasons. And I thought I kind of was convinced that the idea of some kind of wearable device with a camera and just so many different applications for that. But sometimes the scope of work that I do is very protected health information and so on. So maybe it's just part of me is just a little bit of paranoia that it's probably just seeing what I'm seeing, and I probably would have to take the Meta glasses off. But yeah, I haven't jumped on the bandwagon, y'all.
you know what's ironic that we're talking about this? Before the Apple event, there was all these rumors that the next AirPods were going to have cameras. And I would have ordered those the second they went on pre-order if they had cameras because of the potential that could have of something a lot more discreet to be able to be walking around with and having like Ira go through the camera or whatever. I say that because it's like I wish that would have happened, because we wouldn't even have, I don't think we'd be having this debate if it was built into like a headset.
I'd be curious to see if there was AirPods with cameras, like where would it be looking it out through? Like where would the lens be placed?
Maybe it'd be on both sides and then it'd integrate it together.
Like a goldfish.
I'm also picturing where that lens would be. It'd be like, I'm thinking my ear, there's only a certain amount of position on that AirPod that could point towards straight. Because we're already complaining that the camera's not in the center. And this is even going to be wider away from our eyes.
It might get tangled up in my mullet too. I'm just concerned about that. The flow.
And I'm picturing all these AirPods Pro getting stuck at the metro in New York, and all these cameras are just all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, can you imagine being at a concert and all of a sudden they do a song where everyone lights up a candle or they turn on their phones, and now it'll be the little red light in all the lenses of the cameras, just glowing. Ting, 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 ting. Yeah, good advertisement for Meta.
You just have a flashlight beaming out of your little ear canal.
Oh, yeah. 2 of them.
Yeah.
But one thing I like about these AirPods Pro 3 that I haven't heard a lot of people talk about is the noise cancellation going to sleep with it. Like someone who snores, these are like the perfect headphones to get a good night's sleep.
If they were a little bit more flat, I had to get some sleep headphones instead of my AirPod Pros, because I'm notorious for like falling asleep to music and trying to go to sleep that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to switch to, I forget which one, they're Anchor, like Soundcore Sleep Buds or something like that. And those ones are like flat, but still stay in your ear and are way more comfortable than sleeping in the AirPod Pros. That's the only complaint I would have.
There's nothing worse than waking up and hunting for AirPod Pros in the bed.
I was about to say that, Jeff. I fell asleep with AirPods on once. I think it was like the first night I got them, right? And then so I'm like, oh, cool. I'm gonna jam out to some tunes, maybe listen to some podcasts, and I fall asleep, right? And then I wake up the next morning, and both of my AirPods had fallen out of my ears, and they're completely dead. So I couldn't even use Find My to play a tone on it. I remember having to move my bed and then like crawling on all fours, going under the bed and just doing a little AirPods scavenger hunt. And they're now, mind you, now that they're fully covered in dog hair and everything, so I have to like wipe my ear tips, and it was just after that experience, I told myself I'm never doing this ever again.
But you had to find them first. My cat found mine the first time back in the day before the 2s came out. I had the other pair, and my cat, and one tooth went right through that little screen mesh spot where the microphone is. And yeah, sure enough, that one, if I was talking, would be like, it has a Z sound to it. It's like, thanks, cat, But I tell you what, if you drop something, don't worry about the dog finding it. That cat has it pinpointed, laser, it has LiDAR, it has everything. A cat, just follow the cat. You'll go right to it. A little tip for all you listeners.
So instead of Find My, we all should just get a cat now?
I don't know. I like that you can actually find your case, and your AirPod Pros will actually make a beeping sound too if you dropped one.
They still have battery.
There's that.
Plus, I heard that the tips now have a different, besides the silicone, they have a little bit of a foam in there too to get a much better fit. So they're saying it shouldn't fall off, because mine, believe it or not, I use my AirPods Pro when I sleep, and when I wake up, it's laying in the bed somewhere, but mine always falls off. So the only safest place that I have that I can use it is while I'm sleeping, because otherwise I just can't keep it in my ear.
I was also told that there's an extra small ear tip in the redesign, like the shape of them just a little bit. It still feels like it. So I really need to just, again, go to your nearest Apple store and you can do an AirPods try on. And then I used to facilitate those try on appointments. And after every single one of those try on appointments, we flip the case over, because there's a sticker that keeps the lid of the AirPods closed. So you know that they've been cleaned and disinfected and by the closing crew. So anytime throughout the day, we demo those AirPods and we flip them over. The case is flipped over upside down, and then we tuck him inside this secret drawer.
Secret drawer.
Do you get to take the tips home then? The ones that you try on?
Nope, you're not going home with tips. Where you reuse those tips.
That is a
My cat thinks they're edible because I forgot to mention both tips were gone.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah, I wasn't going to follow the cat around and get them back either. So I always like that.
You can order them. Yeah, just order a new set of tips.
I happen to be up by Best Buy, and they actually have these little packets. You open up, and there's 3 right on there. Kind of interesting how they come off the case. It's like, just pull it.
Like you have to
No, I
break
don't.
it.
I don't. I know it's.
The amount of force you need to give to pull it here, that sound, it's just like makes me cringe a little.
I like that they're coming out with 5 now, 5 tips. The only thing is, if I'm wearing them out in the yard doing some stuff, I've gotten to the point now where I can sense they're coming out, so I give it a little push, you know.
That's what happens when I run on the treadmill. I could tell that they're starting to like kind of shift a little bit. And I don't know why, but my left ear always tend to shift a little bit more than my right. And then I kind of just like use my forearm and just jam it right back in there, right back in place.
I wonder why we haven't, or someone hasn't come out like, not with a hairnet or a headband, but something like a headband. I'm from Minnesota. Headbands are fine here, especially in the wintertime. But I would lose mine during hockey. I was practicing just open skate, and I dropped one down, and some people came over to help me. They said, "What color are they?" "They're white." They said, "Ha, we're all blind now. You should paint these things." I said, "Yeah, I know. But they found them.
You know, the worst nightmare is an AirPod on the ice with a lot of skaters because they would blend right in, right? The AirPod is white,
Yeah.
and you have an ice that's white. Now, I'd be curious if this could be someone would probably do a YouTube video on this. Like, but what? Like, it's like one of those what if videos, right? Like, what if you take a skate blade and skate right over an AirPod? What would that do?
Well,
Skates are pretty sharp, so
yeah. Especially if they grip into it. Yeah. I was making it look like I lost a contact or something, you know, and these people kind of came around. "What's up? I lost an AirPod." Some of these people are 70 years old, and their eyes probably aren't any better than mine, you know. It was interesting. I always wore a hat or a headband and pulled it over them so that if they did get loose, they wouldn't fall. I know some people have a strap that they hook to one and goes to the other one around the back of the neck. So in case they do fall, they maintain possession of them.
I am really excited. I've heard the transparency mode is even better, where it really does. Like, because even transparency mode now, like they still are, it's great, but you could still tell that, you know, you've got something in your ear. I've heard via iJustine, who I just love watching her videos, that she had to double check if the AirPods were still in her ear when they turned on transparency mode because it was that good.
Who's that?
iJustine. She has like 7 million followers on YouTube.
iJustine?
Mm-hmm. I just adore her. She's very animated in the way she does her content.
So I could be, I'm just Jeff?
No, iJustine, like iPhone, iPad.
Oh,
iJustine.
iJustine. Oh, okay, iJeff. I get it.
What's everybody's take on the heart rate monitoring on it? Do you guys think it'd be very useful? Because, like, for me, I just have my watch.
I thought the same. I'm like, that's what I have my watch for.
But I am wanting to try out the live translation feature, and I'm not sure if that's something that also will be carried down to the Pro 2s or if we need the
I said it is
3s.
going to be on the 2s as well, and then the 4s.
4, yeah.
2s and 4s.
Well, I heard the Meta Ray now have translation as well in Spanish.
I do. I've never tried it, though. Those are a battery killer.
I did try it, watching a show on Spanish, and, there's probably about a 2 to 3 second delay with the translation, but, I was able to kind of keep up with it.
Oh, wow. Who were you talking? You were watching TV or something, or what?
Yeah, so basically I was watching the television and it had subtitles. So I was asking my wife to translate the subtitles. And then I was actually listening to it on my glasses to see how well the subtitle is reflecting to the translation that I'm hearing on the glasses. And it was pretty close. Not perfect, close.
Cool.
That's really creative, actually.
I definitely feel like that's a good thing. There's so much, conversations that I don't know what's going on. It's good to at least be able to be part of it. And be kind of curious to see, how well it translates with dialects, especially in India. We have different dialects with so many different languages. It'd be interesting to see how well it translates down the road.
Yeah, you betcha. Does Michigan have any dialects?
Yes. Everybody laughs at me on how I talk, so.
You notice I'm from Minnesota. I've never laughed at the way you talk. I really haven't.
Well, Minnesota sounds a lot like Michigan, though. Like when I've been out and about, people are always like, you're either from Minnesota or you're from Michigan.
Really? We don't associate with Wisconsin. Nothing
Yeah.
against our listeners from Wisconsin, but
It's like the forgotten middle. But they got the cheese.
Raise your hand to Wisconsin. That's how they say where you're from. They always raise their right hand and then they'll point somewhere because it's shaped like a hand.
That's what we do. Everybody copies. Because Michigan's actually shaped like a mitten.
Wisconsin's copying you guys?
Yeah, they're copying us.
Wow.
Like we're shaped like a mitten.
Oh, theirs is a hand. Big difference.
I call it the Swissconsin.
Hmm.
But my husband was from there, so I get to make that joke.
So do Coloradoans, how do you say that?
Coloradans?
Do they have an accent?
I don't think so.
Well, none of us.
And our square, our state's literally just a rectangle. So
Not a square. That's good. And then Sree.
Yes, sir.
Would you say Virginia?
We have no accent.
Mm-mm.
We're between southern and northern, so we have like the no accent territory,
Just neutral.
which is neutral.
If you go west, there is.
Yeah, if you go down south, there is. But
Yeah.
like Northern Virginia, there's like, it's too diverse.
Yeah. I used to live in Southern Virginia, so.
That's interesting because, these devices, especially the AirPod Pro 3s, from the demonstration, it seemed seamless. It just seemed like it was instantaneous, live, going back and forth. I just wonder how the dialects are going to impact it, but that's pretty impressive that it's built right into the AirPods. So it's using no connection to your tether to your phone or Bluetooth thing. That's where the lag would be, but it's all being processed right in the AirPod Pro 3s. That's cool.
I think it is tethered to your phone.
Well,
I was told that you have to download the languages.
Yeah, the application is downloaded to the phone.
Okay, well, that's super cool. The only thing that I see as a downfall is you have to have it on the active noise cancellation mode, like completely isolate you from the person that's talking to you in a way.
really?
I just thought of something. This might be very useful for me to go to a movie theater that has only foreign language subtitles, but they're obviously speaking in the different language to see if I can watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be really a true test to see how well it does, because I feel like this is all possible because of the advancements in AI.
That's going to be interesting because now anybody can put those in, and no matter where you are, if you want to tune into someone, you could actually understand what they're saying, when typically in some situations, like if you're having work done on your house or something, sometimes there's a different language being spoke between the workers. And I don't know what they're talking. I remember the neighbors had solar put in on their roof and they were speaking, and I swear it was some form of German or Baltic type of state. And I couldn't hear it, but they weren't getting along, like they were having trouble and stuff like that. It was just interesting to hear. I wish I could have popped in my things, dialed it in, and heard what they were saying.
Jeff wants to spy on people. That's what I'm hearing.
They're on the roof.
what I'm hearing.
My fence is only 6 feet tall. They're up on the roof installing this stuff with a big crane coming down, yelling at each other, and it was kind of interesting.
Oh, you say roof instead of roof?
I noticed that too. I was going to call him out. Roof.
I know. As soon as I said it, I
It's
was
roof.
thinking it's a dog.
Roof.
Roof?
Roof.
Roof.
Y'all haven't talked about the Missourian accent, clearly. We're such a Midwestern.
What if you have two roofs?
Roofs.
Roofs.
I don't know if that's actually a word.
It's not like reefs, like geese and goose.
But who has two roofs? Like I don't know. How
Oh, the
it's
front
possible.
roof and the back roof.
They're all connected.
What if you have
It's
a
all one
double
roof.
level, the roof on the garage and the roof? We're going to have our roofs shingled.
What if it's attached?
Nobody says that. They just say the roof.
It's kind of like the mouse debate. Like, is it a mouse? If it's a multiple mouse, it's mice. But is it a mouses? But mouses is not a word. So it's mouse or mice.
I think my rifes are going to get shingled.
Oh my goodness. You're just making stuff now.
Well, it's just interesting. That English language.
I mean, when I hear rough, I think like, the sandpaper is rough, not roof.
Oh, or a dog says roof, rough.
Yes. See?
That's if a dog sat on sandpaper.
Oh my goodness. You got the dad jokes now.
That's kind of how I feel when some people in some parts of the country say pop to refer to a soft drink.
Soda.
Oh, they do that here.
Because every time I hear pop, I just automatically default to like pop as in popular song or popular genre or something. Like that's pop.
Do you remember the mom and pop stores? They used to have the soda jerk. They used to have the soda jerk there that would operate the levers and stuff like that. And they came from a movie that said, "Give me a soda, pops." Mom and pop store, So soda pop is where that was all came from. I heard it on the internet, so there.
Must be
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm.
Serina.
Jeffrey, you set me up for that, didn't you?
I know you. Do you want to talk about Blindy Girl a little bit?
What about her? Who is Blindy Girl?
Ooh, it's this fictitious thing on the internet. Some pretty good videos. You're doing some really good stuff.
I'm having so much fun making videos. One piece of tech that is helping me make my videos is I got like an Insta Pro. I don't even know what it's called, but it's by Insta Pro and it's a gimbal, which is
The Flow.
I don't think it's called the Flow. Yeah, maybe it is. And it's a gimbal, which is just a fancy word for a tripod that kind of wiggles and moves and stuff. And I put my phone on it and it automatically will center me. And as I move around, it'll recenter me. It's super cool. It makes it where I can just film a video wherever I want and just know that it's appropriately framed.
Nice.
Part of the reason there's more videos coming out because I don't need extra assistance to do them. So
What are you using to edit the videos?
most of them, I honestly just post raw because it's just talking head videos where I'm just talking.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I'm editing one tonight where I'm inserting some AI clips, so we'll see. Hopefully it looks good. In Clip Champ by Microsoft, and that's accessible.
Oh, that's cool.
So I do it on my PC.
Are you recording with your phone or are you recording it with the PC?
It's my phone.
Okay.
And then I'll upload it to like Google Drive and then just download it into Clip Champ and go from there.
I used the guy's gimbal one time and we did a little woodworking thing and it was pretty cool because we were about, I don't know, 8 feet away or something like that. But as you moved to the other side of the workbench, it followed you where you went and stuff.
Kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah, but that's really cool.
I also feel like this idea of a camera following also became more and more popularized because during COVID, I remember having to sit in through a lot of my college classes and we offered them in hybrid format. So there would be people in person, but then the camera would need to make sure that if a classmate or one of my classmates asked a question, like you want to not only just hear their voice, but you want to make sure their face is in the view. So there would be different novel solutions to make that happen. Like an external camera with like kind of wheels. It would just like roll around wherever there's a voice and it kind of tilt the camera. So I just thought it was pretty novel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Zoom rooms have gotten like really fancy. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Seyoon, you made a big change. I mean, we talked about it one time where you were graduate school and you left Apple, the store, and now you're a counselor at your vocational rehab. That's quite a big shift.
Well, it is.
What's it like to you to have been receiving services before and now you are working with people that want to receive services?
It's actually a pretty interesting perspective because now I see the perspectives and angle from people that were in my shoes at one point. So just like anytime, my client speaks up about something and it's like, hey, I was a client of the very same agency that I work for. And look, sometimes it takes a while for things to get processed or whatever. So I just think that perspective is pretty cool. But honestly, I'm just happy that I'm not working like on a Christmas Eve or going in at 7 a.m. for an iPhone launch day. And I had a lot of fun doing that, but at some point, I think it's not the tech piece of what I did at the Apple store that carried away for me. It was just people. It's not like you have a set caseload of people like I do now. It was just like you have a lot of strangers and people of all walks of life. And I think and that's fun about it. But also at the same time, when you talk all day and you're on your feet 34 hours a day, it does get kind of exhausting. But I tell every single listener, every single one of you that are listening to this podcast, try to go seek out a customer service experience at least once in your lifetime because it teaches you so much great deal about people and life. And especially if you're blind or low vision, it just teaches you so much about, how to own your disability more. Because I had to do that because then, I'm not hiding my cane or my guide dog.
Wow. Now, I know you're with the NFB involved in it. And next year, ACB is coming to St. Louis. But what's really nice is they spaced them out a week apart this time. So you could go to the NFB entirety, take a break, and then ACB. And I plan on going to the one in St. Louis next year because Lori has family down there and everything. She takes advantage of the location, not the convention, the location. And I think Serina would do the same thing, honestly. I'm looking forward to St. Louis next year with the ACB and probably run into you because I don't think you could stay away, could you?
No, and my plan was that I probably am not going to strain myself to both, but I like to try to do an ACB because I never had that experience to just to attend and broaden my horizon, broaden my perspective because it's local and it doesn't involve a week of booking for a hotel. So, like might as well type of thing.
Anybody else thinking about going to a convention? I know, Sree, did you go last year?
I did. I went last year at Jacksonville. And this year I went to Dallas. Most of those I worked at the iBug Today booth, so probably next year I'll do the same thing.
I see a St. Louis gathering of the Tech Abilities crew.
There you go.
And Serina, have you ever been to a convention yet?
I have not. I don't think I want to. 2,000 people at a convention is just anxiety inducing for me.
You know what? I tell you what, though, I don't see 3,500 at the NFB or 2,500 at the ACB. I don't know what the numbers really are, but typically I just pick the things I want to do and the events I want to see, and the rest is just time away from home, having fun. I'm not tied up in the masses in a sense. I just pick and choose and meet up with friends, and it's usually a good time.
Yeah, I learned that, I've been to an NFB national convention, I think this last year. This past convention in New Orleans was my third. And I just learned that like there's so many, when you look at the agenda, it's kind of overwhelming. But not only did I have some sessions that I had to facilitate, so that kind of restricted how much I can squeeze in 1 week, but also like I just learned to kind of build my own itinerary, but also I took so many breaks too. Like I do think it's a little bit overwhelming and overstimulating, not for just me, but also to my guide dog. So a lot of times what I ended up doing is either both, I think both ACB and NFB started doing this, but there's like a sensory room, like quiet room. So people who are feeling a little bit overwhelmed can like step inside and just kind of give your brain a little reset, but also it just genuinely just went back up to my hotel room and just took naps and just kind of enjoyed it, to the best that I could. But yeah, I if I miss some resolutions committee meeting, I could just stream it over Zoom, and that's how I would indulge in convention experience if I just felt like I needed my social battery was depleted.
Yeah. Well, it was great to get back together with all of you. Cheryl, are you planning on doing a convention anytime soon?
I'm wanting to go to CSUN.
Oh, yeah. I want to do that too.
That's where I want to go.
So that's on my bucket list.
And it's March in California. So.
Yeah, March in Michigan and Minnesota. I hear you.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's in Anaheim.
Okay, yeah.
And I could kick myself. I used to live there. I never knew it existed.
Wow, the traffic's busy today. What's going on?
Well, I didn't live that close to it, but I lived within an hour of it.
So it wasn't like 17 guide dogs passed your house that day.
No.
What's going on here? No, that's an event that I really want to see sometime, because not only the events, that activity that's going on in the exhibits and stuff, but they do have so many people that work really hard, like on curriculums and stuff, trying to get it introduced into the college systems, that accessibility is addressed. They're working on policies and stuff. There's other things that are going on that I would say are upper graduate type of conversations, in a sense, that intrigues me sometimes more so than it does. I know people just were protesting against Uber because the DOJ is going after Uber right now I thought they should go after Lyft, but I guess Uber and guide dogs don't mix too well, and they're going after them for discrimination. I also wonder about the 504, which is new buildings and accessibility. That's just got delayed for another 9 months on that determination. So I think accessibility is in the news, and it's interesting to see what ACB and NFB are doing about these. They're keeping me posted on it. So it's interesting to see what's coming up.
I also wanted to go to CSUN for quite some time, but there's another one. I think it's called ATIA. That's the other one I really...
Yeah, that's the Assistive Technology Industry Association Conference.
I've got CES on my bucket list.
Really?
No, CES would be pretty cool.
That's in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days, I hope I get to meet up with all of you. It looks like St. Louis is next on my list, so I'm going to meet up with a few of you. Colorado. What's in Colorado?
What about Ski for Life? Is that in Colorado?
There is one in there. There's one in South Dakota as well. There's lots in scattered states, and then there's the International Ski for Light as well. So if you look up Ski for Light, make sure you're looking up either the individual events or the national event, where is pretty much a worldwide international Ski for Light event. And those are nice. I've done one in South Dakota. Really good. Nice people, good people, and good apple cider.
Nice.
I want to thank all of you for listening and all of you for joining us on this call tonight. It's not live, right, Serena?
Not unless you've been live streaming this whole time and you haven't told us.
Yeah. Oops. Did I skip that part? All right. Well.
Yeah, you skipped that disclosure, apparently.
All right. At least we didn't talk about the weather. It's been great. I got to put out the number, don't I?
Oh, do you have it memorized?
Yeah.
And you've got to say it in a proper format and speed. Pressure's on.
Yeah.
He's taking a deep breath. He's getting into his
Do people
moment.
actually leave messages in it?
They do.
Oh.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. If you enjoyed the show, share it with a friend and leave us some feedback at 612-367-6093. And from all of us here at Blind Abilities, Tech Abilities, and all the other shows, we want to wish you a good day, and till next time, bye-bye.
You still said the number too fast. I'm just saying.
The number is 61
Don't.
2367.
And then cue our funky music, right?
And for more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com, on Twitter at blindabilities, and give us a call at 612-367-6093. Leave us a message and download the free Blind Abilities app from the App Store and Google Play Store. That's 2 words, Blind Abilities. I want to thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited
expectations
and the reality
of blind abilities.
And the realities of blind abilities.